everyone, welcome or welcome back to Budgets and Dreams. How are you? I hope you are having an absolutely amazing week so far. I think if you're watching this on the day it goes out, it's Tuesday. I might be wrong. It's Monday for me. I've got a very, very busy week coming up, so I thought I would get this done tonight, and it's quite late, so apologies if it's dark. But we are doing an unstuffing and a condensing and I'm going to say count up. I'm not actually going to count it up on camera with the sheet like I have been the past few months, just because I actually find that quite difficult. So what I've done, I've added everything up in the binders already and already got that in the spreadsheet. I haven't looked at the total, so we will look at that together, but I'm going to do all the unstuffing and the condensing and all those bits sort of just on paper again, because like, you know, just not every, yeah, okay, shush. So this week's affirmation is, all that I need will find its way to me. And I will tell you all about what I was alluding to on Friday, about that on Friday when we do the cash stuffing. Cool, so we are going to kick off. We are going to do cash stuffing and condensing, cash unstuffing. Just need to grab me some note paper. If I can grab it. Cash unstuffing and condensing all at the same time, because I think without the big sheet, I can manage it. So first off, I don't know if this is on screen, but we are unstuffing cash. So we're taking 40 quid out of cash. That is to cover £1.60 on parking, £14.90 on a sewing machine, which was like a dirt cheap sewing machine just to take up trousers, because I'm very short, sick of doing it by hand. It broke straight away, like literal springs flying across the room broke. Anyway, my niece has them now and she's doing them for me. She's a very, very talented, I was going to say seamstress, which that's not quite the word. She's just great with the sewing machine. She did her like A-levels in like clothing design and textiles. She's very clever, very creative. I'd trust her with those. So I'll have those in the next couple of days. And that's for a couple of pairs of trousers that I bought for holiday. Fish food we bought was £6.49. We bought some Tupperware. Do people still call it Tupperware? For £15.26. A bit of parking for £1 and another bit of parking for £2.50. So we're going to take £40 out. So 20, 40, and then what I'm also, oh, I've got the clip on there. Thought that felt a bit heavy. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to take £25 out and pop it to the side, because I need that for something a bit later on. So we've got 35 left in cash now. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, yeah, 35. Lovely. Health, we are taking out 55. That's to cover a £9.90 prescription, £40 for my physio excess, and another £3 spent at pharmacy. Oh, this one is stuck. Got it. So what did I say? 55. So, oh no, we need £5 notes. Uh-oh. So I'm going to put down 60 and take that 5 and hope that we get another 5 for when I need it. So in health, we've still got 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 45. 145 left in health. Then in stuff is next. So we just need to do some condensing now. So moving on then for condensing for car. So car has got 600 in the bank already. And then 20, 40, 60, 81. Oh yes, I need to put that somewhere else. I'm just going to put that there. So that's 120, so that's 720 in total. So 720 in car, and we are taking £100 back to the bank. So car, 100, lovely. Car insurance needs condensing, so there's 200 in the bank, and 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82. Pop that there for a sec. So another 200 makes that 400. So 400 for car insurance, that's all done. So 200 going back to the bank. Luscious. Right, phones is next. So this is where I needed that 25, because what I want to do is get as much of this back to the bank as possible. And at the moment we've got 100 and 20, 40, 60, 81, so 2, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, so 375. So if I put in that 20, that takes us to 395. So if I take out 15, that should do it. So 20, 40, 60, 81 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. Oh. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 1. Perfect. And another one. So £300 going back to the bank and 400 in total. So that's another £400 for phones. So phones, oh, that's bad writing. 300 back to the bank. Lushes. The reason I'm keeping this here is because I need to be able to count this up at the end and for it to equal 245, in case you're wondering. Right, so emergency is 100 and then 1,000, and then new home is now on 1,700, 1,700. So I'm just going to swap that with that. So we've got 1,700 in the LISA now because we got our bonus for the month. Perfect, so that is that for the cash binder. So next up in Oscar's binder, we're going to unstuff some credit card spending from stuff. So we're taking 50 quid out of here, and that's to cover 11.37 for some catering, so for his cooking lessons, £20 to top up his lunch account for school, £7 for more catering, and 13.47 for some socks. So 50 quid coming out for this. So 20, 40, 60. Whoops, put back 10. Oh, that's because it's got the jobber on. And then I'll swap those 2 5s for this 10. So 50 quid left in stuff and 50 quid unstuffed for the credit card. Clubs, I'm actually going to take clubs to the bank because it just sits here and we never spend it. So there's 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 2. So £200 going back to the bank for clubs. And that is because Oscar is no longer going to Scouts, so we don't need cash to sort of float that any longer. And his tumble competitions are few and far between, so it doesn't make sense to have it sitting there in cash any longer. So that is going back to the bank. Oscar's future, do we need to condense anything in there? Nope, it's just 400 and a £20 note. School is just 100, that is for his school trip. Summer is on 600. Uniform, I'm going to take this 50 quid back to the bank because it's just been sat there and there's no need. Oh, that went in the wrong place. So 50 quid going back to the bank for uniform. Lovely, so still 350 in now. Birthdays 250 in placeholders and nothing in holidays. Lovely, this is going swimmingly. Right then, so fun is up next. Oh, my binders look like they're all going to fall over. So in fun, we have adventure has 20, 40, 60. So 60. Lovely. Birthdays is on 30. So this is just swappage, not going back to the bank. Christmas, we have got £300 in the bank already and 20, 40, 60, 81 that's going back to the bank. So Christmas 100, so that takes it to 400 in total. I don't have a 400 placeholder, so we use the 3 and the 1. So 400 now for Christmas. Lovely. The holiday. Oh, we need to unstuff for the holiday. So we need to unstuff £75. That's to cover £6.79 for a hat that I bought. Very little money. We went to the outlet village in Swindon and I found the perfect hat and it was only £6.72, bargain. And then I also bought a wheelie case for the plane, so like hand luggage size, which has all changed. You now have to have a very small case for hand luggage, but I needed one, so I got one of those, and some packing cubes, and they were £65.94 altogether. So £75 coming out from holiday. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 going down, £5 change. So we have got, let's change those as well. So we have got for holiday 1,700 in the bank. I don't have a £700 placeholder. Nope. 1,700 in the bank and 2045 in cash. So nothing going back to the bank for holiday. Weekend away is on 350, clothes is on 100, hair on 100, friends is on 20, fun has got 30, but I need to take out 25. So 25, and that was to cover dinner. I went out for dinner in my favourite Caribbean restaurant with my friend, and we had the same food that we always have. It's this really amazing minted lamb, and it is so good. We had that and a cocktail and a good old natter, and it was amazing. So yes, £25 coming out for that. And then, so savings, in here I have had £80 in cash sitting there for a really, really long time. 20, 40, 60, 80. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take £20 from my birthday money that I got to make that up to 100, and then that 100 I'm going to put into clothes, ready to start clearing off that credit card bill when I finally know how much I've spent for the holiday. So clothes, we're taking back 100, so there's 200 in total now for clothes. Lovely, great. Right, let me just tidy up my binders a sec. They were looking very precarious. Right, we have finished unstuffing for the credit card. So hopefully now when I count this up, it should be 245. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 92, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45. Perfect. Lovely. So we've got the right amount for unstuffing of the credit card. Next month is going to be a lot bigger because we'll be unstuffing for the holiday. So let me just write that down so I don't forget. So credit card 245. Lovely. So that means we can put all this cash back in the tray. Oh, holiday stuff. So I will explain. So basically the issue that I was having on Friday that I said was causing me some distractions was to do with the holiday. I said I wasn't going to say this till Friday, but I may as well kill this empty time. So yeah, so basically on Friday at 6 o'clock, I'd set up to do the video and then checked my phone just beforehand to find an email from our hotel to say that they could no longer accommodate us. With the holiday so close, that sent us into a bit of a panic. But anyway, long story short, we managed to get it sorted, and Expedia, who we booked through, managed to find us some new accommodation, which is actually much, much better and even a lot more expensive than what we had originally booked. But because there was like limited availability everywhere, there was nowhere that they could find for similar money. And we'd already suggested to them a hotel that we'd like to stay at. And originally they said, no, we can't do that. That's a lot. That's like too much more than you paid. And then literally 2 minutes later, the chap said, okay, I'll get you booked in there. So we're like, thank you. So we have now a much nicer room in a much nicer hotel, closer to the airport, in a much nicer environment as well, like the surrounding area. So essentially we've lucked out, but oh my gosh, my world fell apart when I read that email. I was like that cat, you know that gif with the cat with the open mouth? I was literally like that. Ben was just looking at me like, what's wrong? I didn't know how to tell him that our hotel had just cancelled on us because he'd been daydreaming about that place. Oh, anyway, we are sad that we don't get to stay at the place we wanted to stay at, but you know, it is what it is, and it's all worked out for the best, even though I didn't sleep for like a whole night because I was stressed about it, but that's not unusual. So, right, anyway, that was the story. So, darky dots, let's see what we've got in here. We've got 20, 40, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. So we can't take anything back to the bank, but we can get 20. And then I think on Friday I referred to this as the holiday fund. This isn't the holiday fund, it's going into Savey. So we've got 25, 35, 40 in here. So we'll swap that out. And then Llama Chameleon's got a 10, and then Power Up. This is where we get into the coins. So we've got 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65. And then these coins feel like a lot. So we have got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh dear, let's tidy that up. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Just want to try that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'll take that out and put in 20. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 interesting. So in Power Up then we've got 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 95. We have got too much money in here. I thought this saved 100, which is what I was aiming for. Hang on a second. 20, 40, 60, 70, 75. Is that right? 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85. So 95, 100. So I've got £9 left over for no reason whatsoever that I think should be £10 anyway. I'm gonna go and get a pound from my purse and round that up to 10. Hang on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, okay. And that's 5. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. Intrigue. One sec. Okay, I've got a pound to make that up to 10, just so it's easy to work with. So 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 100. Brilliant. Okay, so school trip is getting 100 going back to the bank as well. Which is that and that. So this is done. Sorry I didn't finish it, but I don't know what happened there. So anyway, so that is done. So this £10 coins, I'm going to swap for a tenner, pop it in here and decide what challenge I'm going to do next before Friday, I think. That's the plan. Great. Oh, let's put a placeholder in here. Right, so my little humming. So £100 going in there. I am just going to keep it as 2 100s. I don't have a 200 anyway, but the instalments are in £100 increments, so that makes it easier. So I think that covers us all the way up to October's instalments now, which is really good. Winner. Oh, this is going swimmingly. This is another one that I realised I messed up. So once you've ticked all of these off, it should add up to 50, but I've already got 50 in here. So I've not ticked things off correctly. So that's going to go back to the bank. And we'll put a placeholder in to mark that we've done the first one. And then on Friday, before Friday, I'll get this cleared off properly. So kitchen is getting 50 back to the bank. Luscious. Right then, so before we move on to Savey and Cheeky, let's have a look what Oscar's got in his. So 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Lovely. So this should be 60, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Lovely. So we're just going to swap this out. I don't put any of Oscar's stuff into the bank until I finish the current challenge, because otherwise I get confused. So 60. So although that's 100 and I would typically take it back to the bank, I'm not going to this time for that reason. So £100 still in there for Oscar's future. Luscious. Right. Oh, actually, hang on. I always forget. And 5. Let's pop a 5 in there as well. So 105, have we got a nice one? Is there even any point? Yeah, there we go, 5, perfect. Right then, so let's do cheeky bonus and then save Savey McSave for last. So Oscar's got 4, Ben's got 1, I've got some I can swap for a note. So 5. The only reason I swap all of these coins is because I can never be bothered to go to the post office to get more coins, so I just have to keep recycling them. So yeah, 3 for Oscar's future, 24 for charity and gifts. Has got some coinage, so we can do 2, 3, 4, 5 out of there as well. Let's keep these as tidy stacks of 10. Do I swap that for a 10? Yeah, I'll use that one. It's such a sad £5 note. So 10 in gifts and 2 bounce as well. Perfect. Lovely. Right, I'm just going to take a quick breather before I do cheeky bonus, because that takes a lot of concentration. Right then, let's have a look at this. I'm just going to put that to the side and keep a note specifically for Savvy. If you can't tell, I am trying to be very calm. The past few videos I'd allowed myself to get a little bit hectic again in my brain, so trying to keep things calm. So I've changed out the placeholders that are in this binder because I was running really low on Llama placeholders, which I'm now going to move to the back because we don't need those now. So I swapped them for these placeholders, which were the first placeholders I ever made. And they bring back really nice memories. So yeah, I'm going to use these from now on. So in buffer, we have got, I don't think, should I write down all the, oh, I may as well. So in buffer, we've got 100 in the bank and then 20 in cash. Lovely. So 120 in total in buffer, nothing going back to the bank. I'm not going to write down what the placeholders are, I'll get confused. So buffer and nothing going back to the bank. Let's do it like that. Right then, so for car, we've got £300 placeholder, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 in cash. So we'll just swap those. So 340 in car. And nothing go back to the bank. And then clothes, we have got 50 in the bank and 10, 25 in cash. So 75 in total for clothes. I nearly forgot what I just said. So that's that one. Groceries has got 200 in the bank and 20, 30, 35, 40, 45 in cash. So we'll swap these for a 20. So 245 in groceries. 245, nothing going back to the bank. Health has got 50 in the bank and 10, 15, 25 in cash. So 75 in total for health. So health, 75. And then rent has got 100 in the bank and 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95. Are you kidding? 120, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95. Oh my goodness. I was thinking just then, I'm so going to go and find some money to top that up with, but no, let's not. Oh, I really want to. Oh, should I? I've got a £10 note looking at me from my birthday money. I'm doing it. Right, I'm going to put £10 in, take 10 out. 5 can go back in my purse, so I'll take that minging one. And then that 5 can go in here. And then that means this is now 200. So 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Perfect. Let's take that back to the bank. Bit of a cheat, but never mind. Right, do I have a 200 one of these? Let's have a look. Got a 250. Oh, yay. 200. Lovely. Let's put that over here just in case I need it. So in rent now we have £200. And I am taking 100 back to the bank. Lovely. And then spending, we've got 50 in the bank and 20, 40, 45, 50. Yay! So 50 quid going back to the bank for this one as well. Spending. So spend, we'll have 100 in total, 50 going back to the bank. So 50 out, 100 in. Lushers, and then subscriptions has got 50 in the bank and 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. So 25, so this should be 50, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, perfect. So 50 going back to the bank for, what is this? Subscriptions. So that's that 50. Let me see if I've got another 100. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yay! Lovely. So 100. Perfect. So in subscriptions there is 125 and 50 going back to the bank. Lovely. And then lastly we have got utilities, and utilities has 150 in the bank and 5, 10, 15. So 165 in the bank for utilities. So util 165, nothing going back to the bank. Perfect. So let's add this back to the bank money to here. So this is, let's move that a sec. This is Savey, and we are taking back 100, 50, 200. So 200 going back to the bank. Ooh, lush. Right, so let's add these up. First off, let's find out how much we've now got in Savey, because that's always really good to know. So hopefully this isn't too grubby. I've been using it a lot to sort out the holiday stuff. So 120 plus 340 plus 75 plus 245 plus 75 plus 200 plus 100 plus 125 plus 165 equals 1,445. Let's just check that's right. 120, 340, 75, 245, 75, 200, 125, 16, yay! 1,445 in, that was a really bad, 445 in Savey. That is amazing. Oh, I'm so happy about that. Yay, that's so cool. Right, so now let's see how much we are taking back to the bank. So 100 plus 200 plus 300 plus 200 plus 50 plus 100, 100, 100, 50, 200, and the 245 for the credit card. So we should have 1645 in cash. So 1645, let's just double check that quickly. 100, 200, 300, 200, 50, 123, 123, 50, 200, 245. Perfect. Okay, so 1,645 is what we should have here. So let's see if we've got that. I'll count that up, and then we will have a look at the savings totals. It's exciting. We've got a mega watch again. I just wanted to get as much cash out of the house as possible, if I'm honest with you, before the holly bobs. So that's why we unstuffed so many different things. So we've got 20, 40, 60, 80. Actually, let's tidy this up so I've got room to lay this all out. Cool, right. 20, 40, 60, 81. 20, 40, 60, 82. 20, 40, 60, 83. 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85. So that's 500. Lovely. And then 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85. So that's another 500, so that's now 1,000. Right, so 1,000 in the tray. 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 92. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 93. 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 4. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 5. So that's 500. So we should have 145 left across all of these. So let's do it this way because these are tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 5, 10, 15, 25. Oh, I'm 20 quid short. never mind. Either I did some maths wrong, or I did some condensing wrong, or I did some counting wrong, but I'm sure it's all fine. So anyway, I've got 1625, should have 1645. I'm sure when I count that again, it will be 1645. I always do something wrong. Anyway, that is a really, really, really good result. Happy with that. So obligatory money fan. Move all that out of the way. So that is the money that is going back to the bank this month. Yay. So I'm going to go and grab the iPad and we'll have a look at the totals. Cool. So providing I have done everything correctly, which is very unlikely, let's assume I've done everything correctly. The total that we now have in savings across all of our sinking and future goals is £11,603.12. That is 11,000. That has jumped up loads since last month. I don't understand. It makes me nervous. £11,603 is what it's saying in there at the moment. So we've got 1,700 in the LISA and 1,430 in Savey, I think. We will check. So for my little pie chart then, my donut chart that shows me the distribution across sinking and saving, this is what it looks like. So 69% of our savings is in other, so in our binders there isn't the LISA, Savey McSave and Oscar's Future, and then these bits account for 31%, which is good. So a third for long term and 2/3 for sort of spending and accessible cash. I didn't tell you how much was in the binders away from these ones. So there's 8,053 for our spending and other. So that also includes the holiday. So this is going to take a big jump, a big dip, not jump, a big dip next month when we are done with the holiday. So what's the last one? It's the new one. Oh yeah, this one, the Big Dreams one. Let's squish this. So this one tracks all of our big dreams. So in purple is the LISA, so that's ticking up, which is great. Savey McSave is doing well. Japan hasn't got off the floor yet, and I don't think it will for a long time. And Oscar's Future is ticking along, and that will jump up when we start unstuffing for... oh no, that is accurate. I was just thinking I hadn't finished that current challenge, but I think that's already included. So yeah, we're good. So anyway, that's where we are with the big dreams. So yay, another successful month, I think. So that is absolutely everything. Thanks for sticking with me. I actually found that a lot easier to manage doing it that way. So let me know your thoughts and whether you thought that was a good way to do things, if it all made sense. And if anybody spotted what I did with that £20, let me know. I'm sure it was just a counting error, but yeah, let me know. Anyway, that is me all done. I'm gonna get this all back to the bank nice and safe. And yeah, I will see you on Friday with cash stuffing as usual. So in the meantime, this week's affirmation, all that I need will find its way to me, which is very, very true. I don't know, maybe that could be the thumbnail. Cool. Anyway, have an absolutely amazing few days and I will speak to you on Friday. Take care, everyone. Bye.